Hi, host Eric here. I'm making this video a quick response to the substitute teacher experiment, which I watched on YouTube. It's gotten a lot of hits lately. And I want my response to be fairly to the point here. I think we need to really seriously rethink our understanding of education. When I see that video, I am distressed, immensely distressed, that people view education as so materials focused. Education is a process that a teacher engages with a group of students in, okay? These are the materials you need to teach effectively and run an effective classroom. A whiteboard markers, paper, and pencils for the students. That's it. That's all you need. Now, granted, it's not all you need to win debate tournaments, but that's all you need to run an effective classroom. You can teach everything with that. In fact, you can teach just about everything better than the way it's currently being taught in the way I just described. How do you do it? Well, first and foremost, it's a matter of oral drills. People forget oral drills are the core of education. It used to be this way. It was done in the olden days, back when they put kids in the one-room schoolhouse and lived with Aunt May in the Pilgrim town and all that stuff. Back in the olden days, they would drill the students. They'd drill them. They'd have the teacher would say something, they'd have the students repeat it back to them. They'd repeat it back in unison, they'd repeat it back individually. Well, you might think to yourself, in hearing that, this is rote education you're describing. How could that possibly be a good thing? First of all, it's not rote education. It's, to the extent that it's a rote process that leads to open thinking education. Because here's the reason why. It's really a matter of what is being taught as much as well as how it's being taught. So I can tell you right now, we should eliminate all homework entirely, okay? There's no reason to be asking the students to be spending time at home doing our job for us, right? Isn't it our job to teach the students while they're at school? Why are they tasked then with going and teaching themselves outside of school? Beyond that, it's an affront to their integrity as individuals. They have individual rights and autonomy. We should not, as educators, be making claims upon their time outside of class. It's absurd. It's antiquated. It's deprecated. We need to get rid of it as garbage. All right, but regardless of that, as far as an education methodology, it's not useful anyway. Most of this is designed as busy work, pointless, and useless. The proper way to run a classroom and to run an education in general is to engage the students with ideas in an adversarial way. Currently, the existing system you might call a solvency-based education system, which is we're going to break down all of human knowledge into a series of sets called biology, chemistry, physics, call it English, call it French, whatever. And then we're going to break those sets down into subsets, and we're going to call those units, and we're going to present them to students, and you can achieve mastery of those units, and eventually you learn everything. That is completely contraindicated by reality. Reality tells us this, that the only way to properly learn open systems education, which is higher order thinking skills, analysis of open systems that change, that you change and the system changes as you're learning it, so that you can't master it. It's impossible to master it. There's only one way to even assess it meaningfully, and that's through preference pairs. If you take a bunch of individual instances of a thing and compare them against each other one at a time, like, for example, in a basketball tournament, in the March Madness tournament, right? Team A goes up against Team X or whatever, and Team X wins, they advance, Team A goes home. Well, in a proper preference pair assessment system, it doesn't end after one round. It's at least double elimination, and if you really want a ton of data, you want good data, there's no elimination at all. You just preference pair the things against one another until you're absolutely certain that everybody hates this, everybody likes this. It's how the internet works, right? This is how we need to think about education. Debate does this. It's zero sum. So you can't be adequate to get an A and be sitting there and waiting around while the other students catch up with you. This is the curse of the standardized education system, which is the status quo, the solvency-based system. The curse of it, that it cannot avoid, that it cannot deny, that none of us can meaningfully deny, is that it requires half the students to wait and half the students to fail. And one student, okay, 49.5, 1% student is exactly paced properly. It has to be that way, right? Because it's not individuated. How can you individuate education for all those people? You make it a competition, straight up competition. You make everything transparent, everything public. And you acknowledge the fact that some students shouldn't be on an educational track that's scholarly like that. Some people are not made for scholarly stuff. I'm into sort of, you'd say, this whole personality type modeling thing where people approach the world through different cognitive functions. I think it's a reasonable enough model. Whatever you think about it, it's an interesting frame through which one might interpret information, right? We know for a fact, regardless of what you think of any kind of model, that people are different. They're not all the same. Some people are meant to do education type B academic stuff, and some people are meant to do build an engine, put an engine in a car, make that car go faster, that kind of manly stuff. Some people are meant to do like playwriting, and some people are meant to do play acting, but not playwriting. So if you are, we're spending all this time in school saying, well, you can do playwriting. Yes, we'll do drama. It's an elective, and it's less important, of course, in your core class. Why is it less important? Because some percentage of the population is good at it, and some other percentage of the population isn't good at it? Because it correlates more with money? First of all, we need to address this issue. This is not why we're educating people. We do not put children through 12 goddamn years of education so that they can go out and be a proper cog in a machine. We should be doing this so they can be actualized human beings who do what they want, when they want, as they see fit, in coordination with an ethics that promotes good values for society as a whole. So that's my thoughts on education. And thank you for tuning in to Talking with Fantasy. I'm host Eric. I'm normally quite pleasant. Excuse me for ranting. If this is your first video of mine that you've watched, I'm not normally so ranty. Sorry if my rantiness over-ranted you. Thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. And think about what I'm saying about education is true. We could do a lot better.